This conference will now be recorded.
So my name is Kiran. So I'm having 8 years experience in IT industry and I'm teaching a full stack development since last 4 years. So today I'm going to teach like a brief introduction about what is a .NET and what is a full stack development and how do we implement a simple CRUD operation kind of a things. I'll show you. I'll share my screen and we'll start. So are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes, it's visible.
So today we are discuss about .NET full stack development. Give me a second. So let me give you a brief introduction of person what is a .NET. So .NET is a framework which is developed by Microsoft technologies. So .NET framework is a reusable libraries. .NET framework provides a reusable libraries to develop like particular applications like Windows applications, Windows app, mobile app, and web application and console application and web API, web API applications, and then what else? We have like a Blazor kind of a thing. So Blazor is a responsive application, or Blazor is a single page application, SPA we call it, like Angular, React, or something, and many also. So all this kind of application, so we can able to develop using a .NET framework. Okay, so right now in this full stack development we will cover like web applications like web app and web API. Okay, so let us understand what is language, what is language, and what is library, and what is framework. Framework. So language is like programming language, for example, C, CPP, and C sharp, and Java, and Python, or etc. Something like this. So all these are programming language. So each programming language we have set of libraries. Okay, so library is nothing but, if you observe, if you know C, in C we use like hash include stdio.h. Okay, it help us to write or to print or to scan anything. Okay, we directly use the printf scanf methods, right? If you remember, are you familiar with C language?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, if
Yes.
you remember, we directly use scanf, and we'll put something hello world or something. Okay, and we directly use printf. And what are the information? This is printing. So what are information you want to show? They will show you using a printf and scanf. See, so these all predefined methods which is providing by C. Okay, using a hash include dot, using hash include something stdio.h. So something like this we have. Okay. So using this library, we are able to simply calling the scanf and printf, and it is printing in the console. But what really happening in the backend, if you not use this one, no, if you not use this library, we have to write, okay, write a lot of like 2 pages or 3 pages code to print this statement. Okay. You, to print the statement, but with the help of libraries, some library from the C, so we are able to simply like using a simple statement, we are scanning the value and we are printing the value. The same way, each language have a dedicated libraries. Okay, C has some dedicated libraries, C++ have some dedicated libraries, again C sharp have libraries, Java has libraries, Python has libraries. So this way, like each language has their own libraries. Okay, so that is the reason if you want to develop any application now, then we need to identify which language we require for that application and what are the libraries available in that language. So based on the libraries, we are able to implement our application. So libraries help us to implement, to write a less code and utilize all respective libraries to achieve our application. So that is the reason we should know what is the what is the language is, and what libraries are available in that particular language, and what is the framework here. Okay, so example, we know we know some language C++ or Java. Okay, all object oriented languages are Python. Okay, why Python is only used for machine learning or any analytical softwares or any data science these things? Because why we cannot do in a C, Java or C sharp or C++? Because Python has some additional libraries over these languages. Okay, to even we can implement any kind of a data science or artificial intelligence libraries using this language also, but here what will happen means this languages does not have that kind of okay that kind of artificial intelligence library, so that like when library is not available, we have to implement our own logic. With libraries there, we simply call that library and we can simply call that methods what are available in the library. So that is the reason for each languages we have a libraries. We have to understand how many libraries are there. Okay. And next coming to the framework. So what is framework here? See, for example, if you want to implement something, okay. For C, we have Turbo C. Okay. Turbo C or Turbo C++. Okay, using a Turbo C, we can simply implement a console application. Console application meaning it will give an output in a black window in a command prompt. Okay. Okay. For C++, we have Turbo C. For Java, we have, if you want to implement using a Java web application, we have Eclipse or NetBeans, something like that. Okay. For C++, we have .NET framework. For C, okay. For C sharp, this is we call C sharp, okay, language. Okay, I'm not sure you're familiar with it or not. It is from a C family. It is object oriented language. It is extension version of a C++. Okay, .NET is more suitable for that C sharp language. Okay, by calling a hash, we will call as a sharp. Okay, for C sharp we use in a .NET. Okay, for Python we use a Django, something like this. Okay, why here frameworks are important means framework or IDE, simply we can call IDE, integrated development environment. Okay, see here, framework provides that flexible mechanism to like, see, if you want to implement a web application, okay, web application. So web application, learning a simple C sharp language or Java language is enough to implement a web application. Is it not right? So to implement a web application, what all we required here? To implement a web application, we need some HTML, CSS, JavaScript, okay, and some front-end language, Angular or React, or otherwise, okay, only pure HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap for designing purpose. Okay, we need this, and for implementing backend logic, we need C sharp. Okay, using a C sharp language, we implement a backend logic, and we also need to write any database query. We need link queries. Okay, and we also need SQL for simpler database thing. We am taking SQL here. So all these tools, okay, all these languages are required for implement a web application. So here we will learn only C sharp language, but where, how, from where we have to implement all these languages means, so that all these things are provided from in a framework. Okay, so framework has, I mentioned like in .NET framework I mentioned. So .NET framework is a reusable. It has a lot of reusable libraries, and and it helps us to implement all these kinds of application. So the same way, every framework, okay. So every framework have features to implement. See, Turbo C does not implement. It does not allow us to implement a web application. Turbo C is complete a console application. But here coming to .NET we can implement all these console applications, web applications, mobile applications, Windows applications, and web API, Blazor applications also. So see, this framework has, it is a integrated tool. Like it will allow us to design our front end code, okay, our front end pages. And it will allow us to communicate between the front end and back end, okay, front end and back end. And it is allow us to how to will connect with the database also, okay. So that is the reason, if you want to implement any web applications or mobile applications, framework is required, okay. For mobile applications, for only purely if you want to implement any mobile application law, then you will go with some Android Studio, or we have Flutter. This kind of applications, this kind of frameworks will there. So everywhere we will learn frameworks only. If you learn framework, you will know how to implement any tool, okay. So in .NET framework, if to implement any web applications, which topics we should learn? Okay, I'll give you a brief about it. Give me a second. So in, in in this full stack development, we will learn about, first of all, C sharp language. Okay, C sharp is a object oriented programming language. Okay, oops we have, we will learn oops and most advanced concepts in C sharp. And then we will learn SQL. Okay, SQL basic functions, joins and store procedures, history and queries, everything. And then we learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or jQuery, and Bootstrap. And after that, we'll jump to .NET, actual .NET framework. So in .NET framework, we will learn entity framework, core. Okay, in core we will have link queue also. Okay, and then web APIs and web app also. And a lot of things will come in this web API and web app. And then later Angular. Okay, Angular. So all these topics will cover in a full stack development. Okay, now let us see. I'll go with a simple uh, web application thing. We'll try to implement a simple CRUD operations. Okay, so this is Visual Studio. So I'm opening Visual Studio. It looks like this. So here we want to create one application, right? So I'm just selecting that to create a new application. See, in .NET framework, we can use 30 programming language, more than 30 also, but the most familiar and most comfortable language is a C sharp language. Okay, C, it is like a C sharp is like a just extension of a C plus plus language only, C family only. So it is easy to understand. Okay, and it is like a, it is same powerful like Java. So here I'm creating one .NET Core web application. See, I'm selecting a web applications. This is all my recent applications. Okay. So this many applications. There's the console application is there, some class library, some .NET Core. This is a different web app, and this is a web API. And now here I'm selecting a web app with MVC. Okay. So CRUD operations. And this all framework support which version we want. So it's a 6.0. Now we have a latest version 8.0 also. So we can select which framework we want. Actually now it is creating a new project. And meanwhile, see, I already have this is SSMS we called, okay, Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, using this SSMS framework, we are able to create our own database. All managing a database things we use SSMS. Okay, see here I have a test DB. Okay, this is one of my DB. So in this DB, I have a lot of tables here. See in the DB I have a lot of tables. So I'll pick one of the table and we'll try to create some data, insert some data using a .NET framework, and we will edit it, we will update it, and we will delete it. Okay, we'll see these examples. Right now we'll see any data is available or not. See, I'm having two records here. I want to delete it. So I have deleted two records. Now it is empty. Okay, this is now it is my .NET Core application. See, this is the structure here. Okay, this is the structure here. So earlier I mentioned no, we need some libraries. Okay, every framework has some libraries to implement our web application. So here, now this is our web application. If you run it, we can see the application in a Chrome. Okay, when any application is opening the Chrome browser means that is a web application. See, now our simple our application name is CRUD operations. So simple application is they started. We don't have any pages now. We have the basic pages like privacy, home. Okay, all this all generated by our .NET only. Now here we will create. Okay, we will create one page, and we'll read the list, and we'll create the list, and we will delete and edit these things. We'll see how we can we do. So now, so to do that, I need to communicate with the database. So how do I communicate? So using I mentioned already, .NET is a collection of reusable libraries. So here I need to install here I need to install libraries. Okay. So I need to connect to the SQL server. So I need to install few set of libraries. See how I'm doing. See, I need this entity framework core. Okay. So I'm using a version 6. Later on, if you're learning, no, if you're practicing, you'll go to know and you will understand this kind of a things. Now it is not required. Just follow me. So I need set of libraries here. See, core is installed, and I need this SQL server. and I need tools. See, as of now, I have installed all required softwares. Okay. See core tools in this thing. So our additional libraries we can see here in our dependencies. Okay. See here, if you expand the packages now, here we can see the core SQL Server tools, what are I have installed, I can see. Now I want to communicate with the database, right? So this is my database and this is my database server name and this is my database name test. Okay. So my username password, I have a username password for it. Okay, my username is yes here and my password is something here. Okay, I am able to connect it. So how I'm able to connect? Okay, this is a different thing, this is a different framework, but now I want to connect this framework using a my .NET framework. Okay, my application. So see, this is the thing, the idea is a .NET should provide that mechanism to communicate with the database. Here simply I have a scaffold command. There are a lot of approaches. Okay, there are a lot of approaches to communicate with the database, but here what I'm doing is, this is my command. Here I'm doing, this approach is called code first approach. Okay, sorry, database first approach. Database first approach means already I have existing database. Okay, and I have existing tables also in this database, so I don't want to create a new database from my code. So what I'm doing here, I'm connecting with the existing database, so that is called a database first approach. So here what should I do means, see here, if you observe in models, I just have only one class. Okay, error view model, but now I'll create all this database command. Okay, see, this is just command. Okay, if you observe scaffold, this is my SQL server name. Okay, and here I need to give the, what is my DB name here? Okay, test DB. Okay, here this is my, it will take my local SQL server name testdb and connection true. That's it. Then now what, using this command, what will our .NET framework do? It will connect to our database and it will generate tables all my tables to to this .NET framework. See how it will looks, it will generate one file. It will run the script automatically, we don't have to do anything. What is happening here? It's not connecting. Okay, I'll give user.
Hello, Kiran sir. Actually, where did you get the scaffold command from? Again, in
Actually,
SQL?
okay, not from SQL. If you, it is a approach, no. If you Google it from .NET Core, I need a scaffold command. It will provide it. Okay,
Okay.
and password is 123, as far as I remember. Still, it is not able to connect.
The error was saying something about a source code, something to come out about come out of the source code.
No, that is not the issue. It is a network related instance. Okay. Do one thing. What is our server name? Okay, now it got generated. Okay, I have mistakenly, I have not provided the server name here. See, it just executed it. And if you observe, earlierly we have here we have only one class only, just error view model. See, now it will render other classes also. See, what are the other classes means? It will generated all tables. Okay, what are the tables I have? No, each table it has generated one class. Okay, colors. This is a color table. See, okay. If we have a color table, no, for color table I have only two columns for the view observe. See, I have only two columns here. See, it just generated like two fields. The same way it got generated. 1 minute. The same way it got generated for remaining tables also. Along with this, it will generate my DB context. Here the DB context is the main file to connect with the database. Okay. There is some problem with my mouse. I'll just give me a second. Okay. So now we'll create one more controller and we'll try to insert some data. Okay. I'm just creating a controller users. Okay. See, now my new controller is created. So here, how can I communicate with my database? So I'll just write the script for it. db dot, now the table name I have here, the table name dot to list. Okay, this is a link query. Okay, this is a link query, help us to implement to communicate with the database. Okay, to communicate with the database. So simply what I can do here means I can add some view. See, instead of actually, I used to implement a HTML design instead of to write a HTML code. No, I'm just using some scaffolding concept to generate. Okay, it will generate its own HTML page. Okay, as per my need. Okay, I'm selecting few options there, models and DB context there, so it will automatically generate the design. Okay, for time being, but usually, no, we will write our own design. Okay, based on our requirement. So now it will generate one HTML index page and we can see that HTML code. See, it got generated. It got generated. See, this is all HTML tags. See, it got generated. So for list, okay, it got generated. For simple create thing also create. Okay, first one few examples. Okay, I'll just go through it. See here, what I did is I have implemented a logic for creating a new record and editing it, just viewing, just editing for a new records. Okay, here I have not generated screens. So here also I need to generate a screen. Create. I have to select the model. For update and delete, actually I have not made any changes. Okay, for create it there, and even for edit also I need to add a new screen. Edit. See here, this is our hand landing page. We don't have a URL, no, we don't have menu also. So just typing the URL. So what is my URL is users slash index. Okay. See if I go to it, you can see a list of users page. See here, here it is already communicating with the database, but we don't have any records, no. So if we want to create it, we can create it. See here, we can create it. Okay, first name Kiran. and paste. Our mobile number. Okay, gender, male. Some related mandatory options, some salary, and something like that. If I create it, it is not able to create it. Okay, got it. I just missed this comment, so that's the reason it is not able to create it. We need to use the db.save changes also, then only it will create. I will see the example. See, all this design got it generated by itself only. I have not done anything on the design part, okay, for the time being. See, even this design also. See, only mandatory things only actually I'm giving. See, now it got created. See, now it got created and it fetched the records also. So Kiran, email, mobile number, and these things. If you go to the database, if you if you see the users means, see here we have the same record. Okay, the same way, even for edit also we have implemented edit logic also. If I click it, see if I put a breakpoint now here, if I put a breakpoint here, so this is we call a breakpoint. So when we put a breakpoint and we try to hit this action method now, then it will come here and it will pause until unless we will continue it, it will pause. See, if you click edit button, see it came here, see it got highlighted, and we got the id also. We can see the input parameter, the id is 7 here. So until unless if we proceed to the next steps, it will stay here. So now what it is doing means it is fetching the records. Okay, this is our query. So what we are saying is db dot table name and where it is. Okay, when id is equal to 7 equal to 7, then get only the same record. Okay, only one record. See, if you observe here I am getting a two list. That means it will get all records, but here I am getting only single record. Okay, single or default. So I'm specifying that, and then when I put continue, see it get all records. See, for edit view. Okay, if you want to modify something now, if you want to modify something, and if you want to save it now, I don't have a screen for it, for update screen. Okay, I have to implement for update screen, so I'll do that. See, update logic is little bit different here. So the details dot full name equal to data dot full name. How many fields we have means same fields we have to name it here. Email, what else we have? Email, mobile, data, mobile, and then gender. Okay, Okay, this is for update logic. After updating, actually I'm just redirecting to index page, and then also we will have a delete logic. So here db dot users start. So now we have full update and delete also. We'll see how this works. Okay, now I will create one more record. Okay, it got created, new record got created. If I want to edit it, see now I'm giving a proper name. Suppose this game. Okay, something like this, and I'm updating it. Edit. So here I have to give like edit. Okay, the name I have given wrong one. See, it not edited. Why? Because the view it is not able to identify. Escape. Test. We'll see now it will update or not. See now it got updated. See the name with the proper name and thing. And if you want to delete it now, if you click here delete, see it got deleted. It got deleted and it is redirected to this page. See why? Because now we'll go one by one example. So in the first in index view, we are calling this is the index page. Okay, so this is the index page. Here we are calling just getting a to list, nothing more than that. Then where it is binding to that this screen. And after that, if you want to create it now, then we are clicking the create button, and we have all the properties here which we want to create. We can go with the fields here, fields, any fields. Okay, any fields. If you press the create button now, it will come here and we can see that. Okay, see if I click the create button, see it came here. If you hover on mouse on the data, we can see the our data. Mm, data, see here we can see the data, email, first name, gender. Okay, id is 0. Why? Because this id is not yet created, no? The user is not yet created. Now if you go line by line, it is just adding that to the user and saving into the database. And after that, what we are doing, we don't have a view for the create, no? After this, so just we are redirecting this view to this here. See, redirect to action to here. If you put a breakpoint here, and after this it will execute this method. Okay, if you see that, see it came here, and then again it is calling the database, and it again it is getting a all list, and then it is returning to this view, not from create view to, it is just redirecting to the index view. If you click here, we can see that. See, again from create view, from this view, it is just getting us to this view. So this is how we can simply communicate with the database using a .NET framework. Okay, there are a lot of complex logics and things you should learn, like when we are going to implement, like going for a full stack developer. Okay, see here, if you learn this .NET framework, no, it is easy the way to communicate. We can design our screens. Okay, what are the design we want, and we can communicate with our business logic. See, this is our business logic here. Just getting all the details, putting some data, and editing it and deleting it. Okay, as per our business requirement. Okay, and we have a lot of approaches to communicate with the database. So here I'm using a core database first approach, and I'm using entity framework core. And a lot of people, and if you want to implement any robust application nowadays, we are using this approach only. Okay, we don't need to do anything. Okay, we just call scaffold our commands, and we can communicate with our database. It will fetch all our database records. See here, a lot of tables I have: department table, director table, employees table, employee view, and movies table, product table. But here I'm just going with a simple users table only. Okay, so we can communicate all these tables. Okay, any questions till now?
It's clear so far, sir.
So sorry, I can't hear you properly.
I said it's clear so far.
Okay, it's clear. Okay, so this is the way we will learn each topics. Okay, we will learn each topics. Okay, if you want to implement a backend logic, no, we should learn C sharp first. Okay, C sharp and link. Okay, we learn each topics. Okay, day by day, and we're going to implement our web applications. Okay, based on a requirement. Okay, that is what I'll teach. Okay, I'll deep dive into C sharp hoops concepts and SQL and HTML things. Few things in middle, I'll give some assignments. Okay, you have to go through the assignments and to prepare yourself, and then you have to come up with the solutions. Okay, if you're stuck anywhere, I'll help you on that. Okay, and I'll cover all the concepts which is helpful for our implementing a web applications. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Is there anything